We start with breaking news. Theresa May's Brexit deal has been rejected in the UK Parliament, and a vote of no confidence in her government will be debated within the next 24 hours. Let's get reaction to all the drama. We're joined now by Dion Gous of Credo Wealth. He joins us via Skype from London. Dion, this has been billed as a doomsday scenario. Is it?
Well, Shahan, it depends on, I guess, which aspect you want to focus on. It's actually been, I think, quite widely expected that this kind of outcome would be in place tonight. And now the question is just simply what the next steps are. I think depending on your point of view as far as Brexit is concerned, the doomsday scenario will be what happens next. It will be leaving without a deal, for example, if that is what happens. Or any other range of alternatives, depending on your point of view in this regard. So what happened tonight, I wouldn't say this a doomsday scenario. It was well expected. And in fact, you can see it. If you look at, for example, what's been happening to the currency. The pound has actually been relatively strong in the last few days, and it's strong now after the debate. The pound is at a 30-day high as we speak. So I wouldn't call tonight a doomsday scenario. The question is what happens next.
Now, some experts are saying a no deal threatens to trigger a recession in Britain. Is that too far-fetched?
I don't think that is far-fetched, but I think one has to analyse the question as to whether a no deal is likely. Based on everything that I've heard and read in the last few days and weeks, I don't think it's likely. I don't think there's any majority for a no deal exit from the EU within the British Parliament. It was widely expected that tonight's vote would fail by approximately the margin that it did in the end. So the clear majority against Theresa May's deal was widely known. But by the same token, there is no majority for a no-deal exit either. So the question is exactly how the process will unfold in the coming days and weeks.
Of course, how will the markets actually react in the next 24 hours, though, especially since there's going to be a vote of no confidence in her government?
Well, I think those are two separate questions. I think let's talk about the vote of no confidence first. I think it's unlikely to pass, even though something like 100 Conservative MPs were on record before tonight's vote that they were likely to vote against the deal, and from the numbers we can see that they did. Those same Conservative MPs are very unlikely to back Labour's no-confidence votes. And if you do the parliamentary arithmetic, the Conservatives, in combination with the DUP, should have enough votes to overturn the vote of no confidence. So I think it's unlikely to pass. I may be wrong, I may be surprised in this, but I think that will be quite a shock. If that does happen, if the vote of no confidence passes, then I think it will be turmoil on a number of fronts. Politically speaking, certainly, because we will then rush to a new general election, but also as far as the markets are concerned, as far as sterling is concerned. But if my expectation is correct, and therefore the vote of no confidence fails tomorrow, so the government continues, I think the market will take it in its stride and the market will react positively.
So overall, Dion, tell us the consequences of what happened in the UK Parliament tonight, because Theresa May doesn't seem to be getting any support when it comes to this particular Brexit deal.
No, she doesn't. And as I say, it's actually been clear for some time now. It's been clear, frankly, for the last 6 weeks. You will recall that she was supposed to have this vote at the beginning of December. And because she read the tea leaves at the time and realized that she was going to suffer a crushing loss, she postponed it. But frankly, she's made no progress over Christmas. It's 5 weeks later. And it was eventually voted down. The clock ran out and she had to bring it to Parliament. And now it has been voted down. So now it's a question, as I say, about what happens next. Can she go back to the EU and potentially negotiate additional concessions with them? I think that's not very likely. They've been on record, Juncker and everyone else from the EU, that they're not going to allow that. And then the question is what other options may be debated. The one that has not really come into focus for most people until recently is the question of whether a second referendum is likely, is possible, and whether the whole Brexit situation can in fact be overturned. I think that is more likely tonight than it's ever been. I'm not saying that that is the most likely outcome, but as I say, it's certainly more possible today than what a lot of people have given it a chance over the last couple of years.
All right, thank you so much for your time and your insight. Appreciate it. That was Dion Gous of Credo Wealth speaking to us via Skype from London. We'll have more